Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's session. This evening, again, we welcome Brother Nanda. Those of you who have heard his journey, the first part, found that, okay, that's one section of the journey, mostly the childhood days, yeah? And there's still the rest of the journey because, as you know, we come to Baba, there's childhood, then there is, different phases, different challenges come in, etc. All right? Very challenging times can come in, but how I battle and how I use Baba's Srimad and stay on and move on, all right? And that's the transformation we all have to go take as we move along. So just to share a little bit for those who maybe don't know Brother Nanda or wasn't here during the last session, Brother Nanda is an international speaker and a corporate trainer for the last 20 years. So he conducts programs and trainings for a wide variety of people, helping professionals and ordinary people grow their talents and skills, solving their problems from a spiritual and worldly perspective. He is director of Synergy Training and Consultancy, Kuala Lumpur, and an internationally certified thinking skills consultant and corporate coach, teaching people how to improve their thinking and solve problems strategically. So he holds a master's in psychology and a few other degrees, and has been a practitioner of Brahma Kumaris meditation for the last 32 years. There's a long string of achievements, which would take too long. So now, over to you, Brother Nanda, to share the rest of your journey. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Sister Helen and organizing team for inviting me to share the second part of my spiritual journey. So let me just recap. I think in the last spiritual journey, I think which was 3 weeks ago, I was sharing my experiences on the stages of soul consciousness, the bodiless stage, the avyat stage, then the seed stage, which I had experienced throughout. I will also today share with you a little bit more experiences on that, and also some of the Maya and the types of seva which helped me, which I was doing, and a few more methods which Baba has taught me throughout my journey. And even until today, Baba keeps teaching. But one of the most interesting things which I've learned from Baba is when we become Brahmin, when I became a Brahmin, the effort was very easy. The effort was easy, and I've actually understood the secret when Baba mentioned once in the book message. In the book message, Baba mentioned, and this was when Dadi Janki was sick. When Dadi Janki was sick, and she was, I think must be in the late 90s, maybe 99, 98, or somewhere there, I'm not sure. So Dadi Janki was very sick, and she was really sick, and a lot of us were saying, okay, send good wishes and so on. And after that, Baba sent a book message through Gulzar Dadi. In that message, Baba said, you have recovered because Baba gave 50% help only. 45% came from the family, and only 5% was your own effort. And so everything was so smooth. And Dadi Janki also repeated the same thing later on, a few years later. She said, in Brahmin life is very easy because 95% of your effort is not yours. 95% of the effort is actually done by Baba and the family. So 50% Baba is doing for us with all the blessing. 45% is done by the family. And 5% is actually only 5% is your own effort. And so this was really striking me very deeply. I understood that means I only do 5%. 95% is Sangam Yuga's help Baba and Baba's friend. Now this was a great secret of Confluence Age to me. It was a great secret of Brahman life. You know why? Because if we can follow this formula that Baba has given, life will become so easy. And I was almost so easily floating in my effort, so to say, because of this. Now, every time at Amritwala, I will have a plan to actually make sure I get 1 or 2 blessings from Baba. And my second rule was, I never go against any family member. I've never opposed any family member. And I try not to go into any clash with family members. Even if I do accidentally correct them, I will make sure I mend it back or have a good relationship, because each Brahmin soul's blessing is so powerful and they will help me to make effort. This was a great subtle law which I really discovered in later Avyat Murlis, in the 74, 73 Murlis that Baba was saying. If, let's say, I had clashed and people don't like me or are going against me, I had this thought, I will lose about 45% of the blessing, which means Baba's blessing is 50 and I have to make another 50% effort. And if I did something wrong or break Srimad and my intellect is locked, if my divine intellect is locked, then Baba's blessing doesn't work. Which means now I'm left with 5% of effort. So 95% has to be now added to make my effort, which is why labor and difficulty comes in. So this was a great discovery which I had, and I knew how to use it. But unfortunately, Maya is always very powerful. It still got to me. And I started to labor after some time. So Maya doesn't leave you. Because as I progressed very fast, I also understood that another deep secret I found was the law of karma keeps changing for Brahmin souls. The law of karma, this is a very deep, subtle law again, which I have been researching in Baba's Avyat Murli. And Baba says, the punishment for Brahmin souls is different from Kali Yuga souls. For Kali Yuga souls, it's 1-to-1. But for Brahmin souls, it's not 1-to-1. You make a mistake, you might suffer 100 times more. Not only that, if you are very knowledgeable and very experienced, and you're having a position or very highly instrument, your punishment might even become 1,000-fold. And every time I make a mistake, I can feel that punishment instantly. It will come to me. effort became so difficult at times because of this. So this is a very special secret. For me, it's a secret where Baba sent in both message, which was, your own effort is only 5%. Please don't think that it is you who are doing. It is never you. It is Baba who is doing 50% of the blessing. 45% is coming from the family. And if I don't know how to use this or get this blessing, I will labor. My yoga won't be good, because how can I make such a great effort to change from a 100% impure person to an Avyad angel? It's almost impossible before, if it's not Baba and Baba's family's help. So this was a great, great subtle karmic law which I understood. And I was always following it. I was very, very alert about this. The moment I make a mistake, I will tell Baba, Baba, I have done a mistake. I have done a mistake. What must I do, Baba? Okay, Baba, I will increase my bodiless practice today. I will keep a chart. Every time I make bodiless, I will. So I will have to punish myself. So this is how I used to be sold. So when I make a mistake, immediately my yoga will be cut off, and I will know divine intellect. My divine intellect doesn't work. It doesn't even go in front. I call Baba and Baba doesn't come in front of me. I call Baba, Mera Baba, Baba. It's like Baba comes and my intellect gets cut again and again. So this was a very, very subtle Maya which happened. I will give you some examples of the Maya which took place when I was in the 3rd year, 4th year, and 5th year. Because that was my beginning of very subtle Maya. I hardly go through gross Maya. It was very subtle. The very subtle Maya which I discovered after some time, when the Maya hit me, and 6 months later I discovered that was the Maya. It took me 6 months to discover that that was the Maya, and my divine intellect was locked for almost 6 months, which means my yoga was so bad. I tried to look at Baba, remember Baba, but it gets cut off again and again, that kind of Maya. I'm not sure whether you would have realized this, but that Maya came through my ears. And that Maya was, you know, when I talk to sisters, I never look at their face. It was my practice since my teenage time. Even if somebody very beautiful, I will turn my face away and don't look at the sister at all. It's a sanskar of me, which means as a Kumar, I was totally protected from looking at sisters. And I said, no, don't look. It's always like it. It's okay. So even in my teenage Kali years, I don't look at their faces. So probably it's a blessing of the entire drama. But so Maya found a way to come to me. You know how it came to me? So when sisters talk, hey, this sister's voice is quite sweet. First Maya. Can you see how the Maya came? Very sweet voice. That's it, no. And I didn't see them. I don't even look at their faces. And sweet Maya. Because brother's voice didn't entertain me because they had very ugly voices or very rough voice. And sister's voice was sweet. I remember this happened in 94, 95 maybe. Yo, I'm telling you all my secrets of Maya. Okay, anyway. So it came through the years. And the intellect started choosing without knowing who. It started choosing which sister's voice was the sweetest. See how Maya plays tricks. And I couldn't realize this. It took me 6 months to realize this. So finally, after some time, there was this liking to listen to a particular voice. I still don't see their faces because it's not my sanskar. there was a liking of this voice, a nice voice. So this. Then, as I didn't realize, because as I was experiencing and I was feeling happiness of Maya, this was the intoxication of Maya through the years. And so I was getting happier, enjoying this sound, sweet sound, and I was forgetting the sweet sound of Baba. Now later on, Maya started to turn me some. What it started to turn me was, second stage, I still never look at them. I wanted to talk to them more because then I could experience more of this. Then the third stage came. I finally looked at those people and said, wow, nice company, nice family. And I had self-deceiving. I deceived myself. It's okay, these are family members. And Baba has given me so many experiences, so many. And knowing all these Maya's tricks, I still fell for it. My divine intellect was locked. I suffered for about 6 months, from 1995 December to about 1996 June was the worst Brahman life I had. My intellect was locked. I will sit for Murli and I cannot keep my eyes open. So from 5:30 to 6:30, there will be meditation. I will go out of the center and I will run on the road to keep myself awake. I will do funny things. I'll come back and sit for a few minutes. The next moment, I'll be dropping. And it was very embarrassing because there are so many Brahmins who look up to me at that point of time. Even when I was just 4 to 5 years old, many Kumaris were looking up to me as an example. And I will feel so ashamed. I'll tell Baba, Baba, what is wrong with me? I didn't know. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I will sit in Baba's room and ask, oh, what is wrong with me? I will go to Madhuban and I told Didi, Didi, even in Madhuban, I'm falling asleep in Om Shanti Bhava. Didi look at me. Why? What is wrong with you, Nanda? She said, what is wrong with you? Even in Madhuban, you're falling asleep. Yes, Didi. I'm falling asleep. What's wrong with you? Didi, I think it's ego. Didi smile at me. I think Didi knows I must be under some form of lust. Okay, don't worry, Didi. Go on, Baba will help you. Maybe she gave some blessing. This was lust. The intellect was locked. And when the intellect was locked, I made so many mistakes in seva. My intellect couldn't do seva. Because by the 3rd year, 4th year, I was running the media department of Bangsa. And at that time, the media department was so active. We used to export books, literature throughout the world. Even Global Corporation House, Jaimini Ben and Dadi Janki, when they came, Jaimini said, Nanda, we are going to take things from Malaysia to start the literature department of London. She will still say that, Jaimini Ben. So she took lots of things and lots of cassettes and so many stuffs and said, we're going to use this to start off. This was how big we were, and the media department was so active. And sometimes I used to think I have my own department in the center. Everything was given to me. All this instrument center was so nice to me. They gave so much of privilege, freedom, so much which other Brahmins didn't get because I was not even a centos. But you see, instruments gave me so much. Baba gave me so much. And I did a big mistake. I became irresponsible. in using Baba's gift and blessings. What do you think is the punishment? Baba doesn't punish, but the intellect gets locked. This is a serious problem in Brahmin life. Most of our intellect could become locked. The more knowledgeable I was, the more it got. So finally, I made mistake. I will make mistake in sending the goods. I will make mistake in sending the books. So many mistakes because my intellect was not there. Because I was making my own effort. I became very, very tired. I became so tired of making effort because instead of 100% effort, it was my own effort. Baba's blessing was cut. Family are watching me. They all know what happened to them. What happened? What happened? And their blessing doesn't come out. I could feel it at every point, and I was trying to ask for help from Baba, but it was not reaching. This was Maya. Then I made certain mistakes. And then I thought, I have to leave here. That thought came. Not because I don't like Baba or the family, because the torture was so much. It was a headache, a pressure, a disappointment, a frustration inside me that I cannot take it myself. I was thinking, I know so many things. I know such deep loss of subtle karma. What is wrong with me? And then one day, I realized. I even accidentally told a sister, would you like to go away with me? Funny, huh? Crazy, isn't it? Sorry, I'm telling you so many things. These are my secrets, but it doesn't matter. There's just a drama. It is so, when I look back at it, it's so interesting and so many. I even told her, sister, you like to come with me? Let's go and run away. I don't want to be here. But this sister was quite sensible. She go and told the instrument. So the instrument called me, what are you doing? Why must you say this? And I realized, yeah, I made a mistake. It was just the spur of the moment at that point. This was the one. Then I realized this is lust in the intellect. So I sat in front of Baba, June 1996. Sat in front of Baba and said, Baba, finally I realized there was just the realization is enough. The huge burden of sin went. And then I said, Baba, don't want all this nonsense. And this was my first mind. First serious Maya. The other Maya which came was probably in 1993. I became so good at knowledge and speaking knowledge. I think it's a blessing from family and Baba. I could speak knowledge which others will feel they cannot speak. So in my second year and third year, something happened. I gave a class. It's Mother's class, and it happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. in Bangsa Center. So I gave a class, and these mothers were so excited. It's Tamil mothers, so excited. And so every week they would request me to give class. And these mothers are very lowly job paid. Some are cleaners, they come in bicycle, and they will come to Bangsa Center and then go to work, go and clean the houses around, and then that's how they do Karma Yoga. But 10 o'clock, they will come running every Tuesday to listen to my class. And so the class, you see how Maya starts. And the class grew, and they were like so amazed. How come nobody's teaching us this? How come nobody's telling us this? Where did you get this knowledge? They were so excited. And so the class went on for a year. But after 1 year, the gathering had become so huge. About 20 to 30 mothers were actually rushing 10 a.m. They will now call it Nanda's class, Nanda's class. And it was spreading like that. And then you know what will start, jealousy start. So it just took somebody to go and tell, we should not allow Nanda to give class. So jealousy started to spread, and I was thinking, why is this happening? And then the class was just closed like that. They just told me, no, no more classes for you, and they closed. So it was not a Maya. As I told you, this is all gross Maya. It doesn't affect me. It didn't affect me. So I said, okay, let's move. But still, people got to know that I gave extremely good classes. And so every time I gave classes in various centers, jealousy still grew. Soon I was called to face tribunals like people of 3-4 instruments, and like a judgment was taking place. And I was, what are you talking to the Brahmins in the class? I'm wondering, how is it possible that you have more people in the class? When you give class, more people are coming than seniors. Wow, interesting Maya, I thought. Very nice. Then I was talked about. Then I said, it doesn't matter, it's just a class, forget it. These are people who are jealous, found me as a threat, but are starting to speak. But it doesn't matter. It's all part of the game. So I left it. So I gave less classes up to them. And I made my own effort. But as I progressed more and more and more, Maya still doesn't leave me. Another form. So now last is over. I've understood to some extent. Then from 97, 98, 99, 2000, as it going, another form of Maya. Because I was having more deep experience. I've learned new secrets of talking to Baba. Probably the greatest secret of talking to Baba was not talking to Baba. It is the language of the eyes, which was so powerful, which I picked up from the Murli. Baba says, when you talk, you just read the Murli 69, 70, 71. When you talk to Baba, it is not through voice, sound, mouth. It is your eyes which talks and the eyes which picks up Baba's secret. And that was the deep meaning of drishti. I understood this so deeply. And I wanted to master this technique of talking to Baba through the eyes and taking signal from Baba's eyes during Amrita. Because as I told you, I already had the blessing. When I call Baba, Baba will come in front of me. And if Baba comes in front of me, how do I talk to Baba? This deep. So one of my greatest thing, which I learned during the year of 91, 92, is Baba used to tell, you must experiment. The true meaning of experiment is different. It's not churning or repeating points. Experimenting, I used to do so many experiments. So one of the nicest experiments I did was about drishti. I will stand in front of the mirror for a few minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and look into my own eyes and look into that soul which is inside the mirror and start talking. Is it, am I able to speak through the eyes? Is the eyes in the mirror, which is me, able to reflect back something? I used to experiment this, testing, talk to Baba. At Amrit Vela, I'll put a mirror in front. Baba, you teach me now. I will talk to Baba and take drishti from my own self. And then Baba, what is wrong? How do I do this? How do I do this? And so the miracle happened because Baba knows I have deep desire. Deep desire, deep love for effort was my sanskar. So as I do this, Baba will teach me. When I look into Baba's eyes, it will like Baba will give special teaching. It's as if something goes inside. And then once it goes inside, it is like turns into a message. It becomes like that. Sometimes certain blessing goes into the eyes and I don't know what is that. And then I will tell Baba, what is this? And then throughout the day, that thing keeps repeating. tell me, do this, do this, do this, do this. It becomes a blessing for the day. Baba was teaching me like this. This was so beautiful. It is really nice to meet Baba like this every day through the eyes. So the drishti of Brahmins was so powerful because I understood. Because the message is so subtle and people can capture it. So this is how I used to experiment with so many things, and one of it was experimenting the drishti of Baba. You must try this. You must try to pick or talk to Baba through drishti. I'm not sure how you're going to do it because nobody can teach. I also can't teach. Baba has to teach. You probably already have. You see? All right. So this was the experiments I used to do, and Baba used to teach me. And if you remember today's blessing, you still remember today's blessing? Baba's blessing was today. The progress of Brahmin life is through greetings or blessing. Miraben was reading today and she said, progress of blessing, progress of Brahmin life is the greetings of Baba, greetings of the family, which means the blessing of the family. It hit me today that this was what we really need. Without the blessing of Baba, we cannot move. It's becoming labor. I understood this. So anytime I labor, I know I've lost Baba's blessing. And then my habit of churning knowledge was so deep. Baba taught me so many different things. Baba taught me how to see information hidden in the drama, pick it up, extract it, connect it, link it, compare it, and then attach it to another situation and come up with the essence of it. I think I gave you too many words. Let me just repeat if I can remember. Okay, let me tell you my experience. How I churn is so useful, and this is why I feel sometimes I can tell nice points to people. I will sit in front of Baba and I will tell Baba, I will look into Baba and take drishti from Baba and say, Baba, today I want to think about this. What do you think? Can you teach me this? Baba, today I saw two brothers, sisters having an argument. Or today, Baba, I saw this situation in Brahmin life happening. Baba, you tell me, don't ask why. Because asking why will lead to waste. But I am a scientist, Baba. I have been trained as a scientist since small. I have to ask why, because that's the basis of science. And you are now telling me, don't ask why. Now, this is going against my sanskar. I have to ask why. Now, please explain to me, how do I churn the knowledge if I don't ask why? So then, as I was thinking, I had this thought. Hey, no, it's like Baba told me, no, you have to ask why. Because if you don't ask why, you can't go deep. I don't know whether you still remember, Chalibai said, or Chalibai or Avyat Murli or Sakarni. Baba has to know a particular situation. If not, he cannot explain to us. I don't know where it was, but it was 2 weeks back. Which means Baba must know why it's happening, how it's happening, then only he can explain. So that again clicked 2 weeks back. But this is what I did. I asked Baba. But you see, Baba taught me a technique. If, let's say, something is happening in Brahmin life, a clash of sanskar, a problem, a situation, jealousy, hatred, argument, whatever, go into the depth of that. But don't go into the depth of the person, but go into the depth of the essence, the knowledge of the situation, and then come up with the solution, which the churning will end, starts with why, and the churning ends with how do I implement this, take it into a dharma. That's what I learned. So I give you an example. Let's say a situation has happened. So I will bring the situation in front of Baba. These two people had this argument. I saw what was happening and I could see the vices. Then what I do, I will remove the person from the scene and only maintain those vices or the situation. I've forgotten about that. That is called extraction of the information from the situation. So now I'm no more having waste thought about people. I'm only having thinking about how this vices situations is actually working. Then once I extract the information and put in front of Baba, then I will ask Baba, Baba, now how do I think about this? Then what I will do, I will take that information and I will connect it to my sanskar, my own sanskar. Do I have this? Have I done it? Now, when I did that, what is the difference? How does this work? Is this inside me? Then I will tell Baba, Baba, I don't want this. Can you remove it? How do I remove it? My churning ends with how do I remove it? How do I improve it? And how do I practice the right thing? I start with why is this happening? Without the people involved, only the essence of the situation. And then I end up with how. Then I will ask Baba, Baba, can you help me practice this today? I will give you an example. Once I had this sanskar of correcting people, especially my mother. My mother and sister, everybody is in Gyan. So my mother was doing something and I find that I was correcting her and it was giving her sorrow. She's already 70 years old. Why am I giving her sorrow? But I couldn't stop this habit. So I sat in front of Baba. Baba, I have this dirty habit. I'm correcting people. I should not correct them. Because correction is not going to change their sanskar, but correction is only giving them more sorrow. But every time I look at this particular situation, that waste thought of correcting people comes in. I am asking, how do I do this? Can you help me? So I make a deal with Baba. Baba, every time I see this situation where a correction is going to come out through my mouth, you must intervene and inject into my intellect. Stop. Stop correcting. I want this blessing, Baba. I want this blessing. I want to improve. This is my effort for today. Can you make this blessing permanent in me for Sangam Yuga? Can or cannot, Baba? And then the conversation goes on. Amrit Vela is over. I walked into my kitchen. I saw my mother. True enough, my mother was doing something which I didn't agree. And the moment I looked, the thought came, stop. I was amazed. I said, Baba, thank you. It just happened continuously throughout the day, everywhere. And the next morning, I thank Baba. Baba, you have closed the biggest waste thought of my intellect. And Baba, make sure this thing is strengthened. But I know it is not strengthened. So again, the next day, I asked Baba, Baba, let's make it stronger, Baba. Can I make this stronger? Again, teach me how to. So this time, I will experiment. Experiment is different. It's not repeating points of knowledge. So this time I'll experiment. I'll purposely go and stand in front of people and see what they are doing and try to think, hey, is my even intellect trying to correct these people? And then I'll become so happy I was successful. Then I'll report to Baba. Baba, I was successful. Can we repeat this for another 7 days? This is how I make effort. Baba's blessing. So it was like Baba was teaching me, Baba was helping me. I was playing a game with Baba. I was experimenting. And each time Baba taught me differently. Then I said, Baba, correction is over. What is the key for waste thought? I want to stop this thing because every time there's waste thought, I cannot become bodiless. My intellect becomes dirty. I cannot become bodiless. And my effort depends on bodiless stage because the more power I take it easy. Life doesn't affect me. People don't affect me. So this was the power which was Baba given. But if base thought come, my intellect becomes very slack, I will get affected. So then Baba somehow taught me through his drishti. I'm not sure how. Baba taught me the 5 things I shouldn't do. Number 1, stop correcting people. Stop criticizing people. Stop comparing with people. Stop complaining about anything. Stop complaining. Stop comparing. Stop correcting. Stop, sorry, what was that? Okay, correcting, criticizing, complaining, comparing. There was one more. It doesn't come into me. It will come. Okay. So this 5 thing became part of my sanskar when Baba was teaching me this. And it reduced my waste to such an extent. It became part of me. I used to remember it, recite it daily, every day at Amrita. But after some time, it became quite part of me because Baba's blessing became so strong. After that, I don't have to say it because it was natural. When I see people do people, it doesn't come to me. And the blessing is so natural. When I was about to do, it will stop me. So this was such powerful blessing. And this is how Baba's blessing. Then Maya came again. Let's continue little more time. My ego became so big. I started to think subconsciously that I am the greatest Brahmin in Malaysia. Unimaginable Maya. Can you see? What kind of Maya is that? Isn't it? I'm telling you all my weakness. Please don't use it against me. But anyway, my ego was so big. And this time it was bigger than lust. Because I was doing something. I was speaking things which others couldn't, and they were trying to stop me. And that was irritating. Because I was speaking nice gyan, and they couldn't, and they were trying to stop me. And I was thinking, the ego of I am good, I am knowledgeable. It became so painful. So painful. I lost my happiness. My face didn't have happiness. It was not bright anymore. I was tired. I was missing Amrita. I used to miss Murli at times. And then I would quickly rush back to center. I was forcing myself. The ego was so bad. I will apologize to Baba, but I couldn't remove it. This was the ego which was so strong. In 2001 or 2, I did the unimaginable. What was that? Remember, I was leading the media department. Media department is such an active thing. And it was making money, so much money for Baba's house. And remember, instruments had given me so much of freedom. And in 2001 or 2, I just decided on the spot, I can't take this unhappiness in me. It was 12 p.m. I walked into Bangsa dining. Brother Chu was there, Brother Pure was there. Brother Pure was having his lunch. I told Pure Bhai, Brother Chu was there. Brother Chu has passed away. I'm not sure you know him. Some of you may not. I told Pure Bhai, I'm leaving Gyan. Not leaving Gyan. I'm unimaginable. For such a person who thinks he's got so much knowledge, I'm telling Pure Bhai, I'm taking leave from Baba. Not leaving. I'm taking leave from Baba. I need about 5 years leave. Pure Bhai looks at me. He says, I don't know. You better talk to Brother Lechu. Then I've decided. I took my keys, media room key, the money box key, pass it to Brother Chu. Brother Chu was like, what are you doing? Don't do this. And Brother Pure said, no, you call Brother Lechu. So I called Brother Lechu from dining. Well, Chu, Om Shanti. Bye. I'm going to leave Baba for 5 years. I'm taking leave from you. I'm sorry, I cannot take leave from the family, although I love the family very much and I want to take leave. Interesting Brahmin life, huh? Mine, you see what I'm doing. So I took leave from Baba. I went to Baba's room. Baba, I'm taking leave from you. But I will come back after a few years once I've solved this problem. Then I told Didi, Didi, I'm taking leave also. Didi said, what are you going to do? Didi, I'm going to study and do something. And this. Well, let you say, it's up to you. Didi looked at me and said, okay, are you sure? Yeah, go and study. Miraben wrote a long letter to me. Nanda, you are jewel of this, jewel of that, jewel praising me. So I said, then she called me. Nanda, don't do this. Baba needs you. Miraben, I've made my mind up. I am taking off. Then I took off. I thought I'll be happy. The ego went away. I had no more headache. I was slightly happy in terms of Kali Yuga because there was no more pressure to perform as a Brahman. But still, Baba doesn't leave me. Every day, 4 a.m., 3:45, I will open my eyes and Baba will like standing in front of me. It's like Baba's blessing comes back again because I already made a deal. Baba, whether I leave Baba or leave you, you must still come to me. That was what I shared before in my first session. Baba would come in and say, Baba, let me take a break. Not now, Baba. I want to sleep for a while. This was my. But again, I couldn't because even though I closed my eyes, it will disturb me and say, Baba gave you so much. Is this how you repay back, Baba? It will kill me inside. I was not living in Kali Yuga and I'm not living in the Brahmin family, but it was a torture. So I couldn't. So I will still remember Baba, read my own movie, and I started studying and getting all my this. By the year 2007, 2008, then I became quite established in my own business. I became so huge. I became a certified international speaker, and I was giving talks throughout the world. And then I came back to Baba in 2008 to Bangsa Center. Something happened. When I came to Bangsa Center, I don't seem to know anybody. All the other BKs, Maya had swept them away. And here they were all new BKs who came after the year 2001, 2002, mostly. And they were thinking, who is this brother? And I was like an alien in Bangsa Center and nobody like knows me. And I didn't know the family. I had to restart, get to know everybody, make friends again. And slowly, because you can't rush. Again, jealousy will start. I've learned this. You have to take it slow. We have to give space for people. So slowly I came and then started doing. But again, the same problem came when the opportunity, when Baba was giving me opportunity to speak, again, people found that my classes were good. Again, the same problem came. So I stopped giving classes. And then I told Baba, no, let me work on my own more deeply. Let me get back all this powerful blessing and make it very, very strong, Baba. And so it went, this practice. So this was how, then up to now, continuously, Baba's Amrit Vela. And this was what is sustaining. So this is my second part of my spiritual journey until now. But before I end, the COVID years was so amazing for me because I was cut off from the family and I was cut off from so many things. And I asked Baba, how do I survive? How do I maintain my very powerful stage? So during these 2-3 years, the practice of bodiless stage and the various stages of soul consciousness became even more heightened. and different experiences started coming. So the experiences which I had during the COVID years were very different from the beginning childhood and whatever middle. But I'm very happy that I'm quite free of Maya, because Maya will not let me go, of course. It will come in greater forms, that's sure. But it is just being alert and taking Baba's blessing. Never have this ego that I am doing, because it is not. So my formula now is just the same old book message formula. Very good relationship with family. There is no need to oppose, correct, compare, criticize, complain about anybody. It's unnecessary, because that 1 second I do something to people, my blessing from them will go off. I will labor and suffer. It is not necessary. So another blessing I've earned from Baba, anytime this situation comes, an intellect's blessing will come in. Is this necessary for you? That's the word which is my blessing. Is this necessary? Is not necessary. Just stop it there. So this blessing is what I take from Baba at Amritwala. I will tell Baba, Baba, today I'm going to use this word from now onwards. Anything comes or about to say unwanted things, I must tell, is this necessary for you? You must tell that into my head, Baba. And this is the reminder I want from you as the father and mother. Because you are my mother, and mother must guide me, Baba. I make deals like this in conversation with Baba. And these reminders are very powerful blessing. This is what looks after me until today. And I must share one more last thing. I think we could be making a mistake when talking to Baba. I know most of you are talking to Baba. But when I, this is my experience, when I used to talk to Baba in an ordinary way, there is no power. No matter how long I talk, there's no power. The power only comes to me when I do two things. Talking to Baba. Maybe you're just talking to Baba. Baba, I have this problem. How do I solve this? Baba, can you help me? I'm sure many of us, maybe especially new ones, talk like this to Baba. But you may not receive the power. For me, for me. But the power comes only when I'm in practice of the first stage of being soul conscious, behind the eyes, the charioteer stage, 1989, Murli Baba describes. The charioteer stage, sit inside, and then Baba's drishti comes in and I talk to Baba. This gives a lot of power. So without this soul conscious practice, and if you're talking just like talking to normal human being, there may not be power. My experience only, right? So maybe you should experiment with this, talking to Baba in this manner. You might have more powerful experiences. So this is why I do daily, and it's very enjoyable because I make deals with Baba. I take gifts from Baba. I take blessings from Baba. Help me throughout the day, make my effort easier. This is how I'm moving on right now in my Brahma life. Okay, Om Shanti. Okay. If you have any questions, so
Thank you, brother, for your honesty in sharing, and it's very good. Challenges is Maya. It's very important, because subtle Maya can come very easily. I don't think we have time for questions, but if anybody wants to ask anything, you can always send to me. Then we will see on what level or whatever aspect or whatever you are interested to explore further. Then we will, see in future how we can focus on something, because this is all for Brahmins, yeah. Because on the journey there are variety challenges that come. How to help the self to come closer to Baba, to move on, to to uplift ourselves in every way. So if you can send me whatever it is, whichever aspect, then we will look in the future which areas we would like to explore. Okay.
Sister Helen, sorry.
Yes.
I just now didn't finish the 5 C's. I just want to tell you the 5 C's. The first C is I don't criticize the blessing which I got. Don't complain. Don't compare with anything. Don't give corrections. And don't comment on people. This helps to remove waste thought, the 5 C's, which became my blessing. Thank you.
Okay. I think once a Singaporean came up with what is called the C's, wanting condos, credit cards, cash, all this, in the materialistic world. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you very much, Brother Nanda and everyone. We shall have a meditation with a song, and we request if you could switch on your cameras so that we can share Drishti, all right, in our remembrance of Baba. Okay.
Om Shanti.
Thank you once again, Brother Nanda, and everyone for joining in. Stay safe, stay healthy, be happy. Om Shanti.